Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus Richmond. That's where it all starts. It all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lansing got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sox on Tap. I am your boy Buzz, and I'm joined by my dude Sean Roberts. This is the first time Sean and I have done a show in the 2022 season, and I'm really excited for it because we're doing a win. So that means we might need to be the lineup going forward because the other guys aren't pulling their weight out here. Before we get into this one, be sure you're going on tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnet. Following Sean at Sean23 Roberts and me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. If you're a betting person, go to betrivers.com. Use promo code ONTAP. They will match up to $250 of your first deposit. So if you like money, go do that. betrivers.com/promo code ONTAP. Sean, we came back and it was dramatic. And I really don't want to talk about the first part of the game, but I might. But before we even get into it, number one, how are you doing on this fine Saturday, man?
I'm doing good, Buzz, man. It was looking bleak there for a while. But yeah, this fine Saturday I went Ice House. Like we were talking about before we went live. I was like, dude, that is a beer that we were hiding in basements when I was 15, 16. Like it was one of those, like, before you turn 21, it was whoever had the fake that was like the senior. Yeah, just grab us whatever. And it was always Ice House.
Yeah, see, it's a beer that we snuck out of my dad's basement because fun fact about this, we're going to go down a rabbit hole.
Why is there always Ice House available, right?
Right. But when we were kids, my dad drank Old Style. That was his beer of choice. And then they started putting the Cubs on the can. So he's like, not done. And that's a true story. He was done. Saw Cubs on the can. He was done. So he switched over to Ice House. So we'd sneak this all the time as kids. And I'll be honest with you. I'm a Miller Lite guy, just like you, like through and through. Miller Lite every day, all day. Ice House kind of sucks, but it's not the taste that you're chasing. It's the alcohol content here at 5.5.
That's right. And that's what we love to do here on Tap.
We're functioning alkies.
But yeah, it's funny. I get up this morning, I do my radio show here in Des Moines, and I was talking with Tommy Birch. He's a writer here for the Des Moines Register, and he's a Twins guy, but he follows the Iowa Cubs, or he covers the Iowa Cubs, and we were talking just all things baseball this morning. And this is the first time that I didn't even want to touch on the White Sox. I was like, I'm always wanting to talk about the White Sox, right? But I was like, there's nothing, what's there to talk about? It's embarrassing, right? And so as the day goes on, I go to the driving range today, I get some swings in. I'm like, all right, time to sit down, strap in, let's watch some White Sox baseball, and let's just see how bad it gets today. Right? Like, because I feel like that's our mentality as a fan base is how bad is it going to get today? What's going to go wrong? How are we going to lose? And, you watch a game here with Dylan Cease, didn't have his ace shit, and that's okay. That's okay, because there was a guy named Hawk Harrelson that always used to say, listen, you better have a plan B. If plan A ain't working, you better go plan B. And you kind of saw that today with Dylan Cease. And I don't know necessarily if you want to call it a plan B, but the dude battled. The dude battled.
He grinded
that's what you like
hard.
to see. Yes.
Yeah, he grinded hard because his stuff, he wasn't able to locate pitches. And I'm not going to sit here and blame the ump, but I mean, come on, there's some questionable calls there that extent. I mean, there was a guy standing on first that you and I both know shouldn't have been standing on first.
Correct.
On like 2 occasions here. So
correct.
I'm not saying he had his A stuff and he was robbed, but there were some issues that he had. He had problems with his location, his command today, but he grinded. You put it great because he walked 7 guys, man. But he did strike out 5, and he kept us in the game.
And to be fair, dude got the ground ball he needed to get out of an inning to not give up any runs, and that was booted by Jose Abreu, which, listen, and I agreed with your tweet. I think you put it out there that said people need to – I don't know exactly what it said, but it need to stop sugarcoating it.
Right. He should have fielded the ball.
The ball needed to be fielded. And at worst case scenario, maybe you don't get the outright, but you put your body in front of it, you knock it down.
Right. It's shit like that, Sean, that in a game where you just said Dylan Cease grinded, where that would all right, that particular moment, it's all taken away from him now.
Yep.
Because now it's an error. Now that leads to a run in a, at the time, tied ball game at Goose Egg.
Yeah.
And now he's being taken out trying to get out of the inning because of an error again. The White Sox sometimes they don't get beat. Sometimes they beat themselves.
They beat themselves more than we'd like to
and
think.
it's annoying. That's the point of today. Like, I don't want to even talk about White Sox baseball. Like, you didn't want to in the morning because it was just so annoying. And
right.
then you're like, how are they going to piss me off today? That was a prime example of how they were going to piss
you off. Everything. It was everything that, like, our mentality has been as a fan base, I would say, all season long, is how are we going to lose today? And sure enough, there it was, right? You get the ground ball, your starter's struggling, he gets a ground ball to get out of the inning, and Jose Abreu, love him. He's had his struggles this year. He's heating up with a bat, but you got to stop that baseball. But it was everyone's thought process was, White Sox baseball 2022. There it is, right? There it is.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with that. And, another thing, too, because you've been talking about the negativity of the fan base so far. And, I mean, obviously we see it because we're pretty active on Twitter.
Yeah.
Obviously, the White Sox fan base exists outside of Twitter, but that's our little bubble that we're in.
Yeah.
So, looking at the lineup today, what was it? 51 games, 51 different lineups today, Sean? Was that what it was? I mean,
yeah. Yep.
With no consistency, like if there's no consistency, you're going to have a hard time finding a rhythm. And I think that goes for any sport. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure
it goes for anything you do in life.
Right. Yeah. Right. If there's no consistency, then there's going to be no rhythm. And with no rhythm becomes bad, results. And I feel like we've seen that this year. Obviously, the Sox are they're 3 games under 500. I know Johnny and I joke all the time about Lurie Garcia, and it's not joking. I like Lurie Garcia, like as what he was supposed to be. Not an everyday player. He's
Correct.
been with the Sox for a long time, since like 2013, man. He's been with us for a hot minute. I'll tell you what, him leading off today, and even the other day when he did, I'm shocked by that. And I'm not a big numbers guy myself. Like, I'm not a stat cult or whatever they want to call that realm. But dude, he's been really bad. I don't think he should be at the top of the lineup, and he kind of proved that today. There's a couple situations where he could have drove in a run, and he ends up getting an out, and it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of typical. The lineups have been just so odd lately, Sean. I don't really know where to go.
Yeah, but you're not wrong. The lineups, there's something to that, and I think that's why there is, the uproar every day with the new lineup, because you sit there and you go, man. Like, I know, like when I played college baseball, right? Like, routine and consistency. Like, there is something to be said. Like, you walk into the dugout and you know where you're hitting. Right. Like, you should be seeing, okay, do I have an off day today? Like, that's the only thing that you should be questioning, not where I'm hitting, what position I'm playing. But to your point on Garcia, I think as a fan base, we all do love Liori, right? Like, we all, like, there's a soft spot in the heart.
Definitely for me. I'll say that.
Not for what he should be doing. Like, he should not. He can't play every day. Right. Like, at some point, this roster needs to be built and constructed to where he is not playing it every day. He needs to come in and late inning defense, throw him, possibly put him in a Sunday lineup. Put him in a Sunday lineup.
I agree with you. A guy like him is valuable because he can play all over the diamond, right? And that's what you kind of just have him for, to plug and play when needed. But in this situation, with having Eloy out and having Robert miss time with COVID and having TA hurt and having Makata hurt and going throughout this whole situation, I mean, the excuses are just piling up why these guys aren't hitting and why they're not performing. But that's why Lurie's here every day. It's because Tony really doesn't have another option. Tony La Russa doesn't. But at the same time, this is where he gets his criticism, by putting Lurie, who's been really
in the 9-hole. He needs to be in the if he's going to play, he needs to be in the 9-hole.
He's not playing for his bat. He's playing because he can give you something in the field. That's the only reason. That's it.
Right,
that's why he's in.
But you're not wrong, and I think about the injury stuff, because we sit here and we are like, oh, why is Lurie playing again? Well, see, here's the thing: is Lurie's great if one of these guys go down, right? He's you can plug him in for a few weeks.
Mhm.
It is what it is. You bite the bullet. You put him in the 9-hole. Let him play shortstop because Tim's out. The problem is the White Sox injuries have all piled up on one another for the second year in a row, and you're seeing like those depth pieces, those last guys on the roster, having to start every single day. And there's reasonings behind why those guys aren't starting every single day, or at least supposed to, right? And when injuries pile up, like you said, Timmy's out, Eloy's out, Robert's been out, Mikada's been out, like that. Eventually, like it's gonna affect the roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you see where like the huge holes are in the roster. Like I'm sure you wish this was MLB The Show just like I do and turn the injuries off and just fucking ride. We can't do it. So you have guys like Josh Harrison, who's been just absolutely terrible. And if anybody's listening right now, which we have quite a few actually in here, but go over to ontapsportsnet.com and read NWI Steve's article on Josh Harrison, how bad he's been. Like, I mean, it's just, that's what we have to work with. So it's seriously, pick your poison. Which one is it? You want Lurie or you want Harrison in there? Who do you want? And
I don't know, but I'll tell you two players. One I've been riding with all year, and that's Jake Berger, and we'll get to him here in a little bit.
Absolutely.
But shout out Danny Mendick, dude.
What a game. If there's a game
what a week.
ball.
What a week.
Oh, yeah,
he's been playing good ball this week.
You're right. If there was a game ball, Sean, you cut it down the middle and you give one half of it to Jake Berger today and you give the other half of it to Danny Mendick today. Not only for Danny Mendick having that big hit that he had to drive in a run and the Adam Engel from second base there, but also for saving that the bases loaded.
In the bottom of the eighth. What a play.
Yep. And he got the ball to Abreu to get that out. That was nuts. It was a big play.
And Buzz, I'll sit here and we talk about Leury Garcia and Josh Harrison and what they're going to do at second base. Well, if Timmy comes back in the time frame that the White Sox are saying Timmy's going to come back, I think you look at those two at playing second base and you flip it like you.
Yeah. You know, you're not wrong.
Jake Berger, Danny Mendick need to be your. And I know they're both right-handed hitters. F all that crap. Like those two need to be on this roster. I understand that people get upset about Danny Mendick every now and then, but he's a really good plug-in play. He shouldn't start every day. Don't get me wrong.
This is just a situation we're in right now.
Right.
And he's your best option every day. I mean, you agree with that, right? I mean, he's the best option you have every day, and he's got a pretty decent enough sample size to back that up. You know, his last 30 days or something was like 333s batting or something like that. I mean,
he's in 300.
Yeah, he's doing well.
And people can hate on it all you want, but like if this is the roster, like if this is what we're going to get, right? Like if this is what Rick Hahn can put together, why not put Danny Mendick in there for right now? It's better than whatever you're getting from Josh Harrison and Leury Garcia.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. I think that's probably the play. Again, whether or not we're happy about it, that's
people are going to get pissed about it because
it's irrelevant, because that's what's presented. It's like, what's the best option here? I've seen a lot of hot takes, and I'm glad we're kind of talking about this. We're talking about the game too. It got very exciting towards the end. Obviously, if you're a White Sox fan, we put up 3 runs in the 8th inning. Again, one came off of Mendick's bat, scoring Adam Engel, and then our guy Jake Berger, friend of the show, friend of On Tap for a really long time. I've actually played video games with that dude before, which is pretty sweet. Jake Berger's always been good to us, but he comes out like, I am never happier to see him do well. I've never had another player I'm so invested in within the White Sox organization than Jake Berger. So when he does well, I'm high. I love it.
I think you see that a lot with this fan base because we know the story, right? Like we know the injuries.
Tearing your Achilles, man, is not a joke.
and tearing it twice.
Right.
Like you tear it twice. America loves the comeback story. They love the underdog, right? Absolutely. And Jake Berger's the prime example of it. First round pick, gets hurt, gets hurt again.
I'm just so proud of him, man.
Battles back, and you see stuff like this. But that whole inning, you have 3, or Danny Mendick was playing, but then you have a couple pinch hitters in there. You have Adam Engel, and you have Jake Berger, right?
Yep.
And that's something that Tony was criticized earlier in the year. If you remember, he was like, "Why aren't guys coming in to pinch hit? You're not using your bench." Here he uses his bench, and I want to give him props. Like we can criticize Tony La Russa all the time, right? But I'll give him his props when it's due. And I saw some people, they wanted AJ Pollock in there at that at bat. I think you're either way, you're good. Either going Jake Berger, AJ Pollock. I think it's kind of pick your poison at that point. But look at
I like the pop and burgers bat.
I like the pop and burgers bat, and you got to like the approach. And what I mean by the approach is he got a first pitch changeup. The kid, I don't remember the guy's name that came in for the Rays there.
He hit that off of Raleigh, right?
No, I don't.
Or was it Beeks?
I think it was Beeks. Yes, it was Beeks.
Okay.
Who is known for his changeup and his movement, right?
Right.
What's Berger do? He sits on first pitch changeup because he knows that's the pitch. So that's good scouting. That's all around. That's a win for the White Sox as an organization right there. That whole opportunity, that whole thing. Right. Pinch hit Jake Berger. He goes up there. He's got a plan. He's got an approach. He knows what the guy's going to bring. He sits back on it, gets a first pitch changeup where he's trying to get ahead or get him out front a little bit, and he pops it over the fence. All of a sudden, it's 3-2 White Sox.
Right, and I'm going to give them all the credit in the world. That was a huge third inning, and that was a huge third inning three-run inning in the eighth from unlikely heroes. Yep. I know that we just talked about the Berger pop in the bat. We know that he has it. But listen, man, Jake Berger, I mean, if you look at at bats, I mean, he's still a rookie. This dude doesn't have a lot of experience up in the majors, He's a former first-round pick, but again, we talked about the injuries, and those really derailed where he was trying to go. But him and Engel and Mendick, they did some really awesome things, and I'm really happy about it. What I'm not happy about in the game, and I'm going to have to nitpick a little bit, and I'm not going to harp on it too much because this show has been nothing but nitpicking and harping because they've sucked. And our guys are going to Johnny, Tony, Steve, they're going to say how it is, and I know you are too. I've been a little bit absent this year just because of busy time in my life or whatever, with wife being pregnant, 2 little kids running around. Put a clothespin on it, Buzz. You can jag off. Anyway, but the Moncada and Grandal, man, I haven't really gotten to talk about that on the mic a lot. It's painful.
It's extremely painful.
I don't know how you feel because I know you've been on the mic more than I have been this year on this show. But it's for me watching them. I'm never a big defender of anybody. You play well and we'll go from there. If I like you, I like you. If I don't, whatever. I'm never going to talk shit about a player, really, unless you're Trae Young in the NBA or something, or Josh Donaldson. But Moncada and Grandal, Sean, they got to figure it out quick because I don't want to see him in the fucking lineup at all. I don't. Because I expect so much. People shit on Harrison, right? Which rightfully so. He's not been good. But you see this other side of the fan base Moncada will get it going or Grandal will get it going. Well, how much more of a sample size do you want? We're almost 60 games in here. It's bad.
For me, I look at Yohan Moncada and I go, I'll still ride with Moncada. I think
so
there's
still feel like he could turn it around then?
Yes.
Okay.
I think with Yasmani Grandal
cooked.
I think you're watching the demise of a player.
I see that's big time, but I mean, it's good to acknowledge it is the first step in accepting.
And it's hurtful, it's painful, and I hope I'm wrong. And I hope all of a sudden tomorrow, well, he probably won't be in the lineup tomorrow because he ended up
just
catching.
Bombs. Right.
Yeah, right. I hope I'm wrong, man. But these at bats are so sad.
They are. It hurts.
It's painful. Really, it's painful, and you sit there and you go, yeah, but that's one of the biggest contracts that the White Sox have ever given out. And so you can't take him out of the lineup. You can't. He has to play. And because they don't – what else do they have? What else do they have?
Reese McGuire, Josh Harrison.
And there's nothing against Reese McGuire. He's a great –
Gavin Sheets. I mean, as far as catchers go, we don't
have
much.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to play him. And I don't know. We've talked a lot about this in the group chat.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree. And I don't know what's been said on the show, but I think we've been watching the demise of a player, and it's becoming extremely sad. And it's affecting the team in a way that, why is there always runners in scoring position when Grandal comes up? Part of that is because of where he's placed in the lineup, right? I've never seen a guy struggle so much still be within the 1 through 5 hole or 6 hole, right?
It's a benefit of the doubt type thing, I think. And I mean, it's just he's not walking, he's not hitting, he's
not doing anything.
He's pressing at the plate hard. Even the last ground ball that he hit to second base tonight, or this afternoon, I'm sorry. You saw that at bat. He went down 0-2 right away. And Gordon Beckham pointed it out. He was just like, man, if you look at Yasmani Grandal at bats, it's typically 0-2 counts a lot. And he's not wrong. He's right. And you see Yaz starting to press. And
he's not working. He's not working counts the way he used to. And the pitches that he's allowing to be strikes are strikes that, like, those are the pitches you need to swing at.
The decline is just so shocking compared to, remember second half of last season, going into the playoffs and stuff like that. Like, just
he was on fire.
He was tearing the cover off of the ball. And anybody that talks shit about Grandal, I can know for sure they were getting shit talked to him because he was winning them games.
Yep.
He was making things happen. The fall and his slow start, you can't call it a slow start anymore. This might be it.
We're in June. The slow
June,
starts
man.
it's done. The slow starts are done. We're halfway through the season.
Right. I don't know how to defend him. I don't know how to talk about what he's doing in the lineup. And I mean, his backup is performing better than him by almost a mile besides an OBP, and it's not by much. Nothing else to make really.
So let's look at this, right, Buzz? Let's look at this.
Right.
We sit here all the time as a fan base and we're like, oh, Jerry's so cheap. He doesn't spend any money. How dare him? And like that, I agree with everything on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at the two big contracts that he's signed over the last few years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
One's been DFA'd and one is on the literally like
on his last leg.
On his last leg.
And it might have already fallen off. So
the big contracts, like if we've ever as a fan base been like, man, we really need to prove to Jerry that like these can work. They've fallen flat on their face.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're giving every reason.
Right.
To go, this is why I don't do this. This is why you get Josh Harrison on a 1-year deal, right?
Because
instead of going out and getting 7 years for Marcus Simeon.
Right, who hasn't been good either, but right.
No, but he was
way better option.
Right.
Right.
So, like, if there was ever two players that needed to come through from a money contract wise,
yeah,
it was Dallas Keuchel and Yasmani Grandal.
They just didn't do it.
And one is not on the team anymore.
Yeah, that's
and
bad.
One is like it's becoming cringeworthy to watch.
Right, like Grandal, like 2020, 2021, we're all right.
Yes,
so like,
I will. Yes.
Like I'm gonna take that. So like, hopefully we can use that as firepower. If I went in there to talk to Jerry,
but you get what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah. I see what you're saying because we know how Jerry is because we've grown up with Jerry.
Yes.
So like, this is like, please, Dad, don't fucking take this from us. Please spend some money. Don't. They just got old. That's all because you waited too long to pounce. Now that you know, if you go get a premier guy, you can at least get 4 or 5 years out of him instead of 2.
This is why we didn't go higher with Bryce Harper, right? Like Bryce Harper would have been DFA'd by now, because that's just the White Sox luck, right?
The alternate universe I choose to live in has Bryce Harper and Manny Machado on this team, so I usually reach that euphoria around 9:30.
They should be.
They should be. Liam Hendricks, he comes in tonight. He actually did well.
Liam looked good. Looked good.
And Gordon said he was not happy that he did not pitch since, what was it, Sunday against the Cubs is when the last time we saw Hendricks.
Yeah, I mean, there's been no need for him.
Well, right, but he was unhappy. He did not pitch that long. And listen, Hendricks, I'll tell you what, I'm not the biggest Liam Hendricks guy.
I don't think anybody in our group chat is, to be honest with you.
No, they're probably not. Steve might have been until his, like, when we saw Liam kind of blow some shit up last year a little bit. I've never been really. I like his swag. I like his mentality. I think that's pretty fucking cool. As far as effectiveness, I think coming off, people are going to hate this, but I think coming off of 2 years of Alex Colomé, I felt a little bit spoiled because Colomé just got the job done. I don't know how he did it. It was stupid. It wasn't striking people out, but he just got the job done. Hendricks lets up bombs, and it's odd. But he comes in today and he picks up a save, and it's his 15th on the year. You already said you thought his performance was good. Graveman, what did you think about Graveman tonight?
I think I feel like the last few outings for Graveman, and I might be wrong here, and I might be just combining everything in my head.
It's Saturday. Beers are flowing. That's fine.
Oh, but enough of the, like, let's load the bases and try and work out of jams. Like, is it too hard to ask
Yes.
for our high leverage super bullpen to just go 1, 2, 3? Like, is it too hard to ask? Or like not even just 1, 2, 3. Like, okay, you give up a base hit, but then you get a double play out of it, right? Like,
Right.
you don't sit here, you give up a bloop, and then you walk 2 guys in a row, and then it's 1 out, bases loaded, and then you're like, well, now how the hell am I going to get out of this?
Right.
Like, can't just. It's never easy, and I think
it's a Chicago sports thing, man. Your heart's got to go like this. You finally take the lead. He comes in, and it's almost fucking blown immediately.
Just throw strikes. Don't get like line drives it off. I know, like I feel like we're asking a lot here, but like one game. Can we have one game where like it's smooth sailing? At least this season.
I know, man.
How many have we had that have been smooth sailing in all our wins? Not many. You know why? You know why? Because we score 3 runs a game, Buzz. We score 3 runs a game,
which is amazing. Because like I'm sitting here, and again, I'm going back to the Twitter thing because you and I haven't gotten to talk in person in a long time. So it's just I go back to the Twitter thing of looking. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sean. I bought fucking tickets. Okay, I was fucking I bought Ian hard, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Yohan Moncada, all Tim Anderson, which Tim Anderson is a motherfucking G. He's the man.
Love Tim.
No doubt about it. But I bought in to all these guys in the diamond, not Nick Madrigal. I never bought into him. Thank God he's gone. I never bought into Nick Madrigal. But all these guys that were supposed to be these power guys, and I know that Eloy is gone. But I would have told you back then when you were asking me, they're going to fucking get 5 to 7 runs a game.
With ease.
And that's not a bad night. I felt that. I felt that in my heart.
I think we all still feel that.
My God, how wrong was I? Could you imagine if I worked in the MLB, how quickly I'd be fired?
Yeah, you'd be
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
Buzz the scout.
Yeah, right. I'd be fucking a terrible. I'd be drunk a lot, but I'd be a terrible scout. Like, it's bad.
I think here's the thing is I think it's still in there. I'm not, I know we as a fan base are all in like nuclear meltdown mode, right?
Oh,
like,
I am, yeah.
And we all are. Like, I'm sitting here going like, how are the White Sox going to F this up today, right? And that's my I wake up in the morning as I'm in my shower and I'm like, how are the Sox going to piss me off today?
You gotta put that on a t-shirt, Sean.
Yeah, right. But it's just I think the offense is still there. I think it can happen. I'm not giving up on this core. I don't want to give up on this core because I truly believe that it's there. There's just something weird happening. Like, it's something that we'll never be able to explain. We'll never be able to figure out. And maybe in a month from now, the Sox have turned it around and shit's going well and we're all happy and we're like, hey, remember the first 2.5 months of the season when we're pissed off every single day and we're wondering why are certain people playing all the time, and
right.
Maybe it changes. And I think that's what we kind of just all have is hope, and that's the hope I have for this offense.
Have you ever heard the term that history repeats itself? So there's this guy on Twitter, and a lot of people hate him. I don't know him. Jay Kuda or something. That's his name. That's his name on Twitter. I know a lot of people hate him. Don't know why. Don't give a fuck why. I don't know him, so whatever. But he put this crazy tweet out, and I saw it, and it's like because I was scrolling.
Is it the one comparing the '83 team?
Yeah, wasn't that weird?
Yeah, they actually they put it on the pregame show. They put it on the pregame show on NBC Sports Chicago.
Okay, see, I missed the pregame show because I was watching cars turn left. But okay, yeah.
It was like comparing like. It was like through the first 12 games of the year, 1983. Okay. White Sox had the same exact record, right?
Yeah.
50 games in, same record.
Right.
White Sox in 83 ended up winning 99 games.
Isn't that wild though? And like when I saw that,
Tony La Russa, manager.
Right. And again, I saw that on Twitter and I was like, wow, that's wild. I was like, again, I don't know if history will repeat itself. It's just kind of a cool mirror image, especially like with someone like me who's a dork with the stars and thinks that everything repeats.
I will tell you this, Buzz. If this team ends up somehow getting to 99 wins,
you're gonna jump in Lake Michigan, man.
I will come home and do some. I don't know. I will have to think of something to do, but I will do something just obscure.
I'm with you.
Off the top rope type shit.
You won't do it alone. I will be the tag partner.
If this team gets to 99 wins,
I'll be so shocked. Like
I'm over here sitting, are we going to end the season 500? And there's no way this team gets to 99 wins. I still think they make it to the play. I still think they make it to the playoffs. I think the talent's too good. And thank God that we play in the American League Central.
Yeah, no shit. Do you know how much shit I talk though? Like in the offseason? You know, I'm not a big shit talker.
Either am I.
But
this is what we get
so hard, and I talk shit. And I think I might be the reason why we suck.
You know what, Buzz? I'm right there with you. I don't talk crap. I don't talk I keep to myself about anything because I know what can happen, right? Well, What do I do? My roommate from college, he works for the Minnesota Twins, and when the Twins signed Correa, I said, "That's great. You're gonna still finish third place in the division, right?"
Right.
Like just kind of giving him a hard time, and he goes,
"Good old natured ribbon."
Just good old trash talk, right? Something that I never do, but I felt confident enough to do it because I'm like, well, we're going to be a juggernaut this year. Like no one's coming close to us. Yeah, I regret that. And then, we can just, and I feel like we'll bring this up at least once or twice a week. But the NBC Sports Chicago tweet, Will Smith standing there, is anybody in our division going to show up this year?
Oh, when you put that in the fucking group chat the other day, I'm like,
well, and I was just like, I go, even when it was first tweeted, I remember, and I had just joined the group chat with you guys.
Yeah.
When it was first tweeted in the beginning of the year, and I sent it to you guys, I go, why do they have to do shit like this?
Right. Yeah.
Because it just set up a bad,
it's bad juju, man.
Bad juju. It was a cringeworthy tweet. We're not good enough, or we're the White Sox, man. We're not good enough to send shit like that out.
I was talking shit, bro. Sean, I brought the shit talking to DEFCON 5, okay? That's how fucking far my shit was. I was just talking major shit about how I thought the Sox were going to – listen, dude, who's going to be within fucking 20 games of them in this division? They're going to wipe the floor with them all. And I've never really done that. Not about the Bears. I mean, I'll talk shit about the Packers because I'll never say they're going to win. But, I've never talked any shit like that because I really thought, again, I bought in. We
all did. We all did.
And it's just been very
and
odd.
Then we get emails today of, do you like this team? What do you want out of this team? Are you only rooting for this team for wins?
No
yeah.
Shit, dude. What kind of question is that?
It's like, how do we, God, what was the one that I sent to you guys? The one question. And if you sign up through whitesox.com, you got this email today. You should go fill out the survey. But it was wait, I
got it. How can we make you feel like a more value member of the White Sox family? Sign one big name free agent just once.
Just once, please. Just once. Give us a 10-year contract of somebody. I don't even care who it is anymore. Larry Garcia might as well have gotten a 10-year contract at this point.
Jesus Christ, he's the longest tenured guy on the team. You know what? I know we've gone down a rabbit hole, and
we got to win today, right? We got to fucking
win today. So guess what we're gonna do? We're not gonna learn our lessons because we're Sox on tap. We're gonna keep drinking beer and talking shit. Right. We won. Fuck everybody that's talking shit right now. So tomorrow's game, it is a 12:40 start. Sean, Sox and Rays again. That'll end the series here. It'll be Lucas Giolito up against Ryan Yarborough. 3-2 for Giolito with a 3.61 ERA. 42 and a third pitched. He's let up 41 hits. He struck out 59 on the year. He's walked 17. He's let up 8 long balls. And Yarborough 0-2 with a 4 ERA. 27 innings pitched for him. 26 hits let up in those innings. 20 strikeouts, 8 walks, 3 bombs. That's the pitching matchup for tomorrow. Left-handed pitcher. We know what we would always say back in 2020 and 2021 that the White Sox destroy left-handed pitching. Let's hope they return to that. Let's build off some momentum. I'm not ready to say they're back by any means necessary.
No.
We're not doing that after we did it after the Yankee series. We're not doing that. I think we did learn our lesson there.
The World Series was back on.
Dude, slowly. I thought it was too. I'm like, I'm telling everybody again.
When Tim Anderson hit that home run, I was like, "Yep, we're back, baby.
It's over.
We're back." And that ended real quick. First inning, it ended, I believe, against Boston. First inning was over. But no, I thought so. I look tomorrow. Go win a fucking series. Go at this point, show the fan base something. Show baseball something.
Yep.
You guys think that you're still can be top dogs? Go out and do it. Go win a series in Tampa Bay. It's a huge momentum builder.
That's a huge series win.
a huge series win, and then you win the season series against the Tampa Bay Rays as well.
Yep.
But you won 2 out of 3 at home. You get them 2 out of 3 down at the Trop. You're going against the lefty. You got your ace on the mound. I know we haven't got into it yet, but my pick to click tomorrow is going to be Lucas Giolito. I
love that you've implemented the pitcher more so, because when I would choose a pitcher, I always felt like no, because Tony, Johnny, and Steve, they never do.
Yeah.
They never do. I would every once in a while, but you have really implemented it because you believe in these guys. So you got Giolito tomorrow.
I got Giolito, and I'm looking for a bounce back start. He got roughed up a little bit in Toronto. I want to see how he responds tomorrow. He's our ace. You got to go out there. You got to shove. You got to go 6 innings here, maybe more. And let's call it what it is. Just with this offense, you can give up a run, maybe 2, but that you got to limit the damage. And I think Lucas is going to be able to do that tomorrow. He needs to get ahead in counts. He needs to throw strikes. He needs to figure out. He needs to stop relying on the changeup so much. I think he's relied so much on that changeup, and you saw with the Blue Jays, they looked for it. And when you're looking for a changeup, all of a sudden you become a very hittable pitcher.
Right.
So I want my pick to click tomorrow is going to be Lucas. Go out, win a ball game. Let's go.
I'm going to go Pito, and that's because his hit streak ended tonight. I don't think it's going to happen 2 days in a row like that. I think that he's going to come out tomorrow. I think he's going to be a key factor in tomorrow's win. I'm going to predict a win tomorrow. Again, I'm not saying that they're back, but maybe getting this little bit momentum, especially having NBA term here, but role players, having your bench players come into the game and do some damage like they did, that can be contagious for a lot of people, especially a lot of struggling people within the White Sox lineup right now. So I'm going to go Abreu tomorrow. He's my pick to click. We'll obviously get the rest from the guys, in our group chat or whatever like that. You got anything else, man, before we leave this out and go enjoy our Saturday night?
No, I like the fact that we're going with 2 anchors of this roster here as our picks to click tomorrow. Go out and win a ball game, and try and get this thing turned around, because Minnesota's giving us gifts, man. They're not pulling away with this division. It's still wide open at this point, in my opinion. And thank God that we play in the AL Central.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody be short. You're going on tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox on Tap, at On Tap Sportsnet. Following Sean at Sean23 Roberts, and me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review, because that's cool and tough. I don't know who will be back tomorrow, but it'll be one of us 5. We'll be back tomorrow. So don't miss the show after the game. White Sox forever.